Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, Vijay Mataji, whenever you're ready, you can start Mataji with prayers.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam. Devim Swaraswatim Vyasam Tatujaya Mudiraye. Nasta Prayeshu Abareshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naisteke. Today we are reading from Canto 10, chapter 53, Krishna kidnaps Rukmini, text 1 through 24. Sukadev Goswami said, thus hearing the confidential message of Princess Vairabi, Lord Yadunandana took the Brahmana's hand and, smiling, spoke to him as follows. Text 2. The Supreme Lord said, just as Rukmini's mind is fixed on me, my mind is fixed on her. I can't even sleep at night. I know that Rukmini, out of envy, has forbidden our marriage. Text 3. She has dedicated herself exclusively to me, and her beauty is flawless. I will bring her here after thrashing those worthless kings in battle, just as one brings a blazing flame out of firewood. Text 4. Sukadev Goswami said, Lord Madhusudana also understood the exact lunar time for Rukmini's wedding. Thus, he told his driver, Daruka, ready my chariot immediately. Text 5. Daruka brought the Lord's chariot, yoked with the horses named Saiba, Sugriva, Megha Pushpa, and Balahaka. He then stood before Lord Krishna with joined palms. Text 6. Lord Suri mounted his chariot and had the Brahmana do likewise. Then the Lord's swift horses took them from the Anata district to the Vidarbha in a single night. Text 7. King Bhishmaka, the master of Kundina, having succumbed to the sway of affection for his son, was about to give his daughter to Sisupula. The king saw to all the required preparations. Text 8 and 9. The king had the main avenues, commercial roads, and intersections thoroughly cleaned and then sprinkled with water. And he also had the city decorated with triumph archways and multicolored banners on poles. The men and women of the city, arrayed in spotless raiment and anointed with fragrant sandalwood paste, wore precious necklaces, flower garlands, and jeweled ornaments, and their opulent homes were filled with the aroma of a guru. Text 10. O king, in accordance with prescribed rituals, Maharaja Bhishmaka worshipped the forefathers, demigods, and brahmanas, feeding them all properly. Then he had the traditional mantras chanted for the well-being of the bride. Text 11. The bride cleaned her teeth and bathed, after which she put on the auspicious wedding necklace. Then she was dressed in brand new upper and lower garments and adorned with most excellent jeweled ornaments. Text 12. The best of Brahmanas chanted mantras of the Riksama and Yajurvedas for the bride's protection, and the priests learned in the Atharva Veda offered oblations to pacify the controlling planets. Text 13. Outstanding in his knowledge of regulative principles, the king rewarded the Brahmanas with gold, silver, clothing, cows, and sesame seeds mixed with raw sugar. Text 14. Raja Damagosha, Lord of Siddhi, had also engaged Brahmanas expert in chanting mantras to perform all rituals necessary to assure his son's prosperity. Text 15. King Damagosa traveled to Kundina accompanied by armies of elephants exuding mudder, chariots hung with golden chains, and numerous cavalry and infantry soldiers. Text 16. Bhishmaka, the lord of Vidarbha, came out of the city and met King Damagosha, offering him tokens of respect. Bhishmaka then settled Damagosha in a residence especially constructed for the occasion. Text 17. Sisupala's supporters, Salva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, and Vidurata all came along with Poundraka and thousands of other kings. Text 18-19. To secure the bride for Sisupala, the kings who envied Krishna and Balarama came to the following decision among themselves. If Krishna comes here with Balarama and the other Yadus to steal a bride, we shall band together and fight them. Thus, those envious kings went to the wedding with their entire armies and a full complement of military conveyances. Text 20-21. When Lord Balarama heard about these preparations of the inimical kings and how Lord Krishna had set off alone to steal the bride, he feared that a fight would ensue. Immersed in affection for his brother, he hurried to Kandina with a mighty army consisting of infantry and of soldiers riding on elephants, horses, and chariots. Text 22. The lovely daughter of Bhishmaka anxiously awaited the arrival of Krishna, but when she did not see the Brahmana return, she taught as follows. Text 23. Princess Rukmini taught, Alas, my wedding is to take place when the night ends. How unlucky I am. Lotus-eyed Krishna does not come. I don't know why. And even the Brahmana messenger has not yet returned. Text 24. Perhaps the faultless Lord, even while preparing to come here, saw something contemptible in me, and therefore he did not come to take my hand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much, Vidya Mataji, for reading the translations today. We'll offer brief prayers and we'll continue. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thanks to all the devotees who joined today for our Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. It's wonderful to read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So, because it's not different from Krishna himself, and just by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, our material anxieties will go away. Soka, Moha, Bhaya. Soka is lamentation, Moha is illusion, Bhaya is fear. They can all go away, all by the mercy of Lord Krishna in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, we get the association of Krishna directly, great devotees like Sukadeva Goswami directly, and great devotees like Rukmini directly, like specifically in this chapter also coming up in the tomorrow section, like that. So we can benefit from the association of great personalities from Srimad Bhagavatam. So before we start the 53rd chapter, we'll briefly discuss the context. As Vidya Mataji indicated, the chapter is titled Krishna Kidnaps Rukmini. And just so we know how the chapter title is made is based on what is the most prominent thing that is happening in the chapter. So that is the prominent thing happening in this chapter, that Krishna comes and kidnaps Rukmini Devi. So however, today's session will cover the prelude for Krishna's appearance in Rukmini's place to kidnap her. So tomorrow's discussion by Sri Krishna Prabhu will cover the actual kidnapping of Rukmini Devi. Now before that, what happened is what we'll discuss today. Yeah. So we heard in the previous chapter that Rukmini Devi uh, was so attracted to Krishna just by hearing about him. Now, she didn't even see him at all. And then she wrote a letter to Krishna because she decided, I will not marry anybody else other than Lord Krishna himself. So she wrote a letter to Krishna, and that showed the resourcefulness of Rukmini. So both at the same time, dependence on Krishna and resourcefulness or determination to do what she can in her hands like that. That showed to us. So she wrote a letter to Krishna and sent it through a nice Brahmana to Krishna, that messenger, as a messenger. And the messenger went to Krishna and read the message of Rukmini to Krishna. And then Krishna heard the message. So uh, that is where last chapter ended. So the essential message we can take from last chapter was Rukmini Dev's love and devotion for Krishna and the power of hearing and the messages about Krishna, the power of hearing about Krishna to develop love and affection for Krishna. And then also respecting Brahmanas, like from Krishna's personal behavior we saw. And then the dynamic blend of Rukmini Devi deep devotion that includes dependence on Krishna and the diligence she used to do what she can in her hands while depending on Krishna. So she gave exact plan to Krishna how he should kidnap her also like that. So that shows not just dependence, but we do practically what we can in our life also, all in the mood of depending on Krishna. Now we'll go to this 13th chapter now. In one sense, this section is very simple. What did Krishna do after he heard the message from Brahmana? What did he do? He essentially came on a chariot along with Brahmana to the place where Rukmini is there. That's what he did. But in the description also comes how was the city decorated and prepared for marriage of Rukmini, and then what is Rukmini feeling because it's just one night before marriage. How is her heart condition, heart situation? Like that, we'll hear in today's session. Going to text number 1, still Sukadeva Goswami is telling us, telling whom? Parikshit Maharaj. And we are hearing that because Srila Vyasadeva wrote for our benefit. So Sukadeva Goswami is saying, what did Krishna do after hearing the confidential message that Brahmana took from Princess Vaidarbhi? Princess Vaidarbhi means Rukmini Devi. And Krishna is addressed here as Lord Yadunandana. So that means the Lord of Yadus. So Srila Jiva Goswami points out that why is he referred as Yadunandana in this verse? Because he will give joy to Yadus. By doing what? By marrying Rukmini Devi now. That is why he is called as Yadunandana here. And then he took the Brahmana's hand, it's described. That means he held Brahmana's hand. He just didn't say, okay, let's go. Not like that. He gently held Brahmana's hand. Our Jiva Goswami describes that is establishing, Krishna is establishing friendship and affection by inviting him to with the hand like that. And then he is described, Krishna is smiling and spoke to him like that is described. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes why is Krishna smiling. So what is the significance of Krishna smiling? Not in this context. Basically, Rukmini was so disturbed both internally and externally with what? Oh my God, my marriage is going to be happening with Shishpal. I don't know whether Krishna will come on time or not. I don't know whether Krishna will come on time or not. Will Krishna accept my request or not? Like this, she is disturbed. Whereas Krishna, even though he has so much affection for Rukmini Devi, he is not disturbed. That's why he smilingly dealt with the situation. That's what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes. Even though he has so much attachment for Rukmini Devi, similarly, how Rukmini with attachment to Krishna, she was disturbed. But Krishna, with even though she is attached to Rukmini Devi, he was not disturbed like that is described. So Krishna did not show disturbance. Going to text number 2, Krishna started to speak. To whom? To Brahmana. He is saying, just as Rukmini's mind is fixed on me, my mind is fixed on her also. He is assuring. Because in the letter, Rukmini disclosed her mind, how she is fully fixed on Krishna. He is describing from his side also, his mind is fixed on her like that. And then he says, I can't even sleep at night. Why he is telling that? Sri Sanatana Goswami describes in his commentary that actually she is also fixed, her mind is fixed on me, my mind is fixed on me. Uh, she is disturbed by this situation. I'm actually even my condition is more severe compared to Rukmini Devi. Why? Because I cannot even sleep also. Like that, Krishna is describing, it's described. And then he says, I know that Rukmi means who is Rukmi? Rukmi is brother of Rukmini. Out of envy has forbidden our marriage. Krishna, uh, of course, Jiva Goswami describes also on the I can't even sleep, he said, right? Jiva Goswami describes, I can't even sleep. What to speak about enjoying something else? I am also in that condition, like that, is describing it seems. So then, by telling that I know Rukmi is trying to stop this marriage, Krishna is disclosing that I know the root cause of this. So I should immediately solve it. Like that he is telling. That's what our Srila Jiva Goswami shares with us in his commentary. Now text number 3. Krishna is still speaking to the Brahmana. He says, she has dedicated herself exclusively to me. Exclusively is the right word. She is dedicated completely to me, exclusively to me, not to anybody else. And her beauty is flawless. By this, Srila Jiva Goswami describes Krishna saying that she is exclusively dedicated to me and remembering her great qualities. Jiva Goswami is describing to us that by this one quality of exclusive devotion to Krishna, she has all other beautiful qualities like that, which we know from Bhagavad Gita also, and also see Chaitanya Charitamrita. Whenever these qualities are described, our acharyas are quick to point out that Krishna Ekasaranam is the primary quality, Pradhana Lakshana, whereas other qualities are secondary, or Tatastha Lakshana. So when we have full dedication to Krishna, because we want to please Krishna, naturally we want to develop all good qualities. So that is the point he is describing here. So Krishna is glorifying her, that she is dedicated to me. Through that, she has all beautiful qualities like that. And then he describes an analogy, Krishna. He says, I will go and thrash these worthless kings in battle. Just as one brings a blazing flame out of firewood. In firewood, flame is hidden. But when we light it with a matchstick or something, the fire will come and become like a blaze and flame like that. Similarly, Krishna is describing that right now Rukmini is hidden in the family like this, family and relatives. But when he takes Rukmini's hand and with him, then in the process, the all the unfavorable elements will be burnt or will be destroyed or will be defeated. Like that, Krishna is describing in this situation like that. So now, text number 4. Now, back to Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami is describing. Now he describes Krishna as Lord Madhusudana. He says Lord Madhusudana also understood the exact Muhurta time. And what did Muhurta time for what? Rukmini's wedding. So he told his driver, what did he tell? Daruka, ready my chariot immediately. He told, Krishna told to his chariot driver by name Daruka. So our Acharyas write commentary describing why did Sukadeva Goswami call him Madhusudana? He says, Sanatana Goswami describes, Sanatana Goswami describes, actually, Krishna is treating this situation with great valor, great courage, being brave. Like how he killed Madhu demon in the past, now he will take care of these guys. Like that. That's what is indicated by Madhusudana, Srila Sanatana Goswami describes. Similarly, Srila Jiva Goswami describes another explanation. He says, Madhu means honeybee. Madhu also means honey. Madhu also means honeybee also. So, like a honeybee becomes unsteady when it's here, when it smells the fragrance of the honey from a flowers like that. So like how honeybee is unsteady by the fragrance of the lotus flower. Similarly, Krishna uh, internally became unsteady to go quickly and rescue Rukmini, quickly and take care of Rukmini like that. That is the significance of Madhusudana word is given here. So he gave the instruction to Dwarka. Krishna gave the instruction to Dwarka to get the chariot ready. Now next verse, fifth verse. Dwarka brought the chariot. It had 4 horses. The names of the horses are also given here. Saibya, Sugriva, Meghapushpa, Balahaka. And then he stood before Krishna with joined palms. Who? The chariot driver, Daruka, stood before him like that. I think one of the Acharya's commentary, he says he kept the hands like this in devotion, like that as I described. So, but in the purport, BBT purport, we're hearing from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur directly, who is quoting from another scripture, Padma Purana. He's saying little bit more details about the 4 horses. What is the color of the horses, like that is describing. Saibya, the horse was green in color, like parrot's wings color. And Sugriva was in yellow gold color. And Meghapushpa was the color of a cloud. And then Balahaka was a whitish color. Our Acharyas described that these horses were very powerful, number one. Number two, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. If he desires, he can wish and he can be there readily there where Rukmini is there. But now because he's performing human-like pastimes in this world, he's acting like a great warrior. Actually, in one of these words, Shauri word is used. So, a Shauri means like a warrior. He's acting like a warrior and is going with the horses and chariot like that is described. So now going to the next verse, text 6. Yeah, in this verse only. Text 6 is Krishna is described as Shauri. Shauri means great warrior like that. So Lord Shauri mounted his chariot and he also had the Brahmana sit with him. And the Lord's swift horses, swift means very fast, took them from Ananta district to Vaidarbha in a single night. He did an overnight journey. Like sometimes we go in India from one place to another place, we need to take an overnight train. When we go from Hyderabad to Tirupati, we used to go in an overnight train like that. Like that, they went a overnight journey, but very fast. So, in the previous verse, we heard Krishna actually understood the Muhurta, right? There are Acharyas also comment a couple of things I missed to mention. One is he understood one because of his omniscience, number one, because he knows everything. Second is he heard from the Brahmana when the marriage is happening like that. And also he knows the astronomy. Through that he learned. And then he understood just only 2 nights left. Krishna didn't delay. Krishna immediately started. That shows Krishna's example for us. How important things we don't delay. We do it on time without waiting for something worse to happen like that. So he went in one night, taking Brahman also with him. Our Acharyas also comment, why did he take Brahmana with him? Because normally when there is sufficient time, what happens is Brahmana comes with message to the other party and then he leaves first. So that way he can go quickly and tell them, yes, I gave the message. They said that they are doing this. They are going to come back to you like that. Normally that happens. And then the actual other party comes slowly. But in this case, there's not much time. Only 2 nights are there. And for Brahman to go back, this is the fastest method for him to go back also. That's why he went back quickly. He took Brahmana along with him. So that way he can take Brahmana. Brahmana can assure Rukmini Devi, oh, my dear Rukmini Devi, Krishna said is coming. Krishna is already here. Like that, he can assure Rukmini Devi. So Rukmini Devi will be peaceful. Now going to the text number 7. Now from here we are hearing the preparations that Rukmini's father, who is King Bhishmaka, made for the marriage of Rukmini. What is being described here? King Bhishmaka having succumbed to the sway of affection for his son, was about to give his daughter to Sisupala. The king saw to all the required preparations. So first thing that we mentioned is actually King Bhishmaka doesn't want to marry Rukmini to Shishupala. He also wants to give Rukmini to Krishna only. But why is he doing this then? Why is he preparing everything? Because he has so much affection and attachment for his son Rukmini. So this is an example of how attachment can blind us, how attachment can make us do things that are beneficial for us and beneficial for others also. So now this King Bhishmaka decision to marry Rukmini to Shishpala is not beneficial to Rukmini because she loves Krishna. Is not beneficial to Rukmini also, his elder brother of Rukmini, because Krishna will take care of him. But still, he went ahead without considering this logically also, because that is the blindness of attachment. We hear this same from Bhagavad Gita also, how Dhritarashtra was blind, not only materially with eyes not there, but spiritually also. We hear in the first verse purport, Sri Prabhupada talks about it in Bhagavad Gita. Same thing we can see here. So that's why we should also be careful. Are we attached for our children and we're not doing the right thing for them? Are we affectionate toward them and trying to do the right thing for them? We need to check ourselves also. Now going to text number 8 and 9. Now King Bhishmaka had the whole place decorated nicely. How did they decorate? There's an elaborate description given here. First of all, they cleaned all the streets. That means, like India, we do. They took a broom and cleaned the land, and then they put sprinkled water. Why do they sprinkle water? Because it's given in the purport also. Interestingly, when they sprinkle water, the dust settles down. It seems so it doesn't keep going up like that. So that's why you put the water, and the cities are decorated with archways and colored on the poles. They are colored banners like that, and then all the men and women wore spotless new clothing, and then they anointed themselves with sandalwood paste, and they wore nice. Women wore nice necklaces, flower garlands, and then jeweled ornaments they were wearing, and they were decorating the homes with the smell of aguru incense like this. It's described in the Acharya's commentary that especially women did the decoration, and not only the women who are residents of that city, but women who came as visitors to the wedding, they also did the decoration, it seems. So these festivals are celebrated with nice decorations we can learn from here. And in olden days, decorations were very natural with flowers like that. Now, decoration is more artificial, but still the principle is remains same, which is we welcome the Lord with the decoration in festive mood. And we decorating ourselves with nice clothes also, not to show off. See how I'm looking so nice. That's not the purpose. We're welcoming the Lord in nice clothes, nice decoration, decent like that. For example, when we're welcoming a VIP coming to our home or to our office, we go dress ourselves nicely to welcome him. Similarly, here the residents of the city are nicely decorating like that for the festival occasion. Going to text number 10. Not only they did the decoration, king arranged that according to prescribed rituals given in the Vedas, Bhishmaka worshipped the forefathers, Devatas, and Brahmanas by feeding them all properly. So, because when Brahmanas are happy, then uh, they everybody will be happy. Namo Brahmani Devaya, Go Brahman Hitaya cha, Jagatitaya Krishna, Govindaya Namo Namah. Krishna is happy and everybody is happy like that. So he fed all the Brahmanas also. And also, he had the Brahmanas, requested Brahmanas to chant traditional mantras for the well being of the bride, Rukmini Devi. And then it's described in the next verse how Rukmini Devi prepared herself. She brushed her teeth, she took bath, and after that, she put on auspicious wedding necklace, and then she was dressed in a brand new upper and lower garments, and she wore nice jewelry. So purports, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti comments that she was wearing spotless, fresh dresses. Because in auspicious ceremonies like this, we wear fresh dress. That's common for us also. In marriages, we wear fresh dress like that. In culture is there also like this. That brings auspiciousness, it seems. Text number 12. Now, all the Brahmanas were chanting mantras from Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda for the protection of Rukmini Devi. And some priests who are learned in other Veda, they are different. They are offering oblations in the fire sacrifice like that. Why they are doing that? To pacify any unfavorable planets is described. So everything is being done according to Vedic descriptions, Vedic regulations like that. In text number 13, uh, so the king not only engaged Brahmanas to do chant mantras and everything, he gave them charity, dhanam. Charity is the essential principle of any celebration in our Vedic culture. Whether somebody's birthday is there, somebody's marriage is there, we give charity to suitable persons like Brahmanas. So he gave charity in gold, silver, clothing, cows, and sesame seeds mixed with raw sugar, it seems. So Sanatan Goswami describes he did this with full faith that when we give to Brahmana anything, it will be beneficial for me, beneficial for us, like that. With that faith, he did like that. Anything we do with faith, even in our devotion service, that has a better fruit and faster result like that also. So we also chant with faith. We also hear Srimad Bhagavatam with faith. We do deity worship with faith. That is the way we are supposed to engage our devotional activities. With faith, whatever we do, we can please Krishna easily. In the text number 14, not only King Bhishma and Rukmini are preparing like this, on the other side, the bridegroom side, who is Shishupala, his father is Damagosha. They are also making preparations. What kind of preparations? They also engage Brahmana in chanting mantras and for his son's prosperity, Shishupala's prosperity. And then they travel to Kundina, came with armies, it seems. So actually, Jiva Goswami comments, even though they engage Brahmanas in chanting mantras, their chanting was useless because they're trying to go against Krishna. Whereas King Bhishmaka, his chanting of mantras, engaging Brahmanas to chant mantras is fruitful because they're ultimately meant for Krishna. Because Rukmini is ultimately going towards Krishna. So that's why others are not fruitful, he's saying. So now King Damakosha, along with Shishpala, he came with armies like that. Armies are also decorated with jewelry. Even elephants are decorated with jewelry. Chariots are decorated with jewelry like that. We decorate our Jagannath chariot for Radha, but they decorate their own chariots for themselves. So now text 16, how this is matter of Vaishnava etiquette. So Bhishmaka, when the bridegroom's party came, he went outside the city. Like we go when some important personality comes, we go out of the home and welcome them like that. Saintly personality. Like that, he went out of the home and welcomed them, offering him respect. And then he showed them the place they can stay. And interestingly, that place is a new palace they built just for wedding, like that. But the principle is we show them the place to stay, like that, the guest who is coming. And then Shishupala's supporters who are enemies of Krishna, Salva, Jarasandha, Dantavakra, and Vidurada, they all came also, along with their armies, and even Pondraka came, it seems. So it's described here. We know Jaya and Vijaya took three births in three different yugas. In this yuga, they came as Shishupala and Dantavakra. So this Shishupala that we're talking about is Jaya coming in this life as Shishupala. And Dantavakra is Vijaya, like that. Then others we heard about Jarasandha in previous chapter. And others are also enemies of Krishna. So they came with the army. Why? Because they came with the intention that if Krishna and Balaram come and try to meddle with this marriage, try to drive Rukmini away, we'll fight for Shishupal. And we'll make sure Rukmini gets married to Shishupal. With that mood, they came with all the armies, it seems. Whereas notice, Krishna came alone. He's alone is enough like that. So that's what is described here. In the text 2021, when Lord Balarama heard that Krishna went alone with his chariot to Rukmini's place, and he heard this, all these kings are coming with their army. Balarama, out of his strong affection for his brother, that's what Acharya has described, Vishnu Chakra Thakur, out of his strong affection for his brother, he took his army also and went immediately to that place. He wants to make sure Krishna has enough support like that. So text number 22. So now we hear what is going on in Rukmini's mind and heart like that. Last couple of verses. Rukmini Devi anxiously waited for Krishna to come. So, but because she did not see Brahmana yet coming back, she is worried what is happening, because Brahmana might have taken so many days to walk, or however he went to meet Krishna. That's why it took some time for him to come back. So this is the thought process of Rukmini. There's an interesting lesson here also. Please listen. Rukmini is thinking, alas, my wedding is going to take place tomorrow morning. How unlucky I am. The lotus-eyed Krishna did not come. I don't know why. And even the Brahmana did not come back. So now here is the important lesson for us in the last verse for today. She says, perhaps the faultless Lord. So notice, oh, Krishna didn't come. Oh, Krishna is useless. Krishna is bad. She didn't think like that. Faultless Lord, number one point. Even while preparing to come here, he might have seen something not good in me, something contemptible in me. And therefore he has not come to me, take my hand. She's not thinking, he did not come back, he has this fault, this fault, this fault, this fault. That's what conditioned persons like me do. No, he's saying, she's thinking, he did not come because he has seen some fault in me. I'm not suitable for a bride, as a bride to Krishna. That's why he did not come, maybe. Like that she's thinking. This is the mood of humility of a Vaishnava. So even when something doesn't go according to our will, we desire, our wish, we don't think bad about others. We think maybe something wrong in me, like that. That's so we reconcile ourselves instead of developing envy towards them, becoming like an enemy towards the other person, like that. So that is a good quality we can see. And other point in the BBT purport is mentioned is, she's thinking like this: if Brahmana did not come, that means maybe unfavorable message. Krishna might have said, I will not come. Because in those days, when the messenger gives good message, they'll be rewarded with nice ornaments or wealth like that, gold like that. But if they come with bad message, they will be punished sometimes also. So that's why maybe he did not show up. Like that, she's thinking. But interestingly, she's thinking about her fault, but not Krishna's fault. This is another important lesson we can learn as practicing devotees. We'll pause here. Tomorrow's session will be very wonderful. His Grace Sri Krishna Prabhu will cover it. Please pay attention tomorrow. It is wonderful to hear about how Krishna takes Rukmini's hand. We'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpatarabhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.